All right, y'all, let's get into America's freedoms, okay? Because when I look around this nation, I see a problem with the freedom and liberty that we were promised, okay? And the world is going to be judged in righteousness. And as that good has become bad, and the bad has become good, because people don't understand the flip and the deception in the world, how Satan has transformed himself into Jesus, and he's transformed Jesus into the so-called Satan, okay? Just changes the direction of the light on things, okay? And the people have fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. So, as the law was given by Moses and the people brought that law from the hardness of their own hearts, Jesus is the one who brought the grace and truth. Okay, it came by Jesus Christ, the grace and truth. So that tells us that the law, it doesn't have grace. It doesn't have truth in it. So the law that the people worship as far as Moses, or like today, the law of today of man that we follow, it's not right. Okay, it's wrong law. It's a law based on evil. It's a law based on Baal worship. So America's freedoms, all right, we're being shown propaganda, all right. I'm not a supporter of these things or a non-supporter of these things. I'm just watching this. I'm trying to let y'all know how it's going down, okay? But this propaganda is pushing the people, what they think of as right or wrong or whatever, it's pushing these people into corners. And in these corners, they are going to develop laws based on the hardness of their own hearts. So this is where the law gets fulfilling. And as the law gets fulfilling, just like in England, however many hundreds of years ago when we had to come over on the Mayflower, because there were so many laws, that's going to be the same replay of today when people have to leave certain areas of America and go to the new America that is going to be forming, because the old America is becoming bombarded with the fulfillment of the law out of the hardness of the people's own hearts, because they have no love of God. Because God has given us all things to enjoy and love. God is love. Man is hate. Okay? Man is fallen. Man is that light, is that cherub, all right, that's fallen from heaven. And heaven is on earth as it is in heaven. So these things are right in front of us. And they're being told to us out there or after or whatever, so we can never understand the reality, or so we move in fear, or so we don't know these kinds of things. Okay, but as we're going into these times and the veil's being lifted for the bride, the groom's preparing, the mystery of God, the mystery of Christ, the mystery of Jesus, all these things are being shown to those who have the eyes and ears to hear, and the body is being gathered up. Okay, so the body, the carnal body, that's being gathered up as well. That's the part that's going into the tribulation, the trials, the fulfillment of the law, the ones that hate everybody, the ones that hate themselves, the ones that they hate the things that's being shown in this world or whatever, because they're participating in the same things behind closed doors. They're watching the wieners. They are eating the ass. They are humping the ass. They are doing the same exact things that they are shaming these people for. Okay? So everybody loved Dennis Rodman. Everybody loved RuPaul. Everybody loved these people back in the day. Okay? You can go over the list of the people that dress flamboyant. Okay? Lenny Kravitz. Just goes on and on with these people. Aerosmith. Nobody had a problem with any of these people. The propaganda is getting y'all. Y'all are being pushed to and fro. Y'all are the beasts that are not thinking about what you're being shown, about where you're going, what you're doing, all these things, okay? So this is all a test of men. So as these freedoms, what they're doing now is they're testing the foreheads, okay? If you've noticed, the Bud Light boycott, all right? I'm going to let y'all know this. I mentioned in my other video, I think, but the Target stuff, the Bud Light stuff, that going for the infrastructure bill, that's all part of that Build Back Better. So the PayPal versus Nike with Kanye West conversation, they basically figured out how to take care of this situation. So the money that Target loses, the money that Bud Light loses or whatever, that is paid back to them through that infrastructure money, okay? There's billions or however much set aside. So this is part of that. So Bud Light, they're doing a test on men right now, okay? They're seeing if people really stand by their values and morals, okay? Or is the cell going to get them, all right? So they're saying they've lost so many millions or billions or whatever, right? So as they're losing, they're going to discount the beer, which we see that's happening. And once it gets down to a certain price, people's favorite beer, all right, we'll boycott next week, or we'll boycott when the prices go back up, or whatever kind of thing, right? They're testing the foreheads because they're seeing if y'all actually believe what you think, or what kind of thing, okay? Or if y'all are just a bunch of hogwashers. Anyways, so this is that test of forehead to see if you will go for that buy and sell, all right? So instead of just stopping beer or whatever, beer's an estrogen mimicker also. This is why it gives you the bitch tits and the pregnancy belly and stuff like that, okay? Also, if you don't want the bitch tits and the pregnancy belly or whatever, according to what I've seen, it's best if you drink like a different brand every time you get a buy beer or whatever kind of thing. Or you don't want to drink the same brand or eat the same brands over and over and over again, because basically your body, you're eating the same type of food or toxins over and over again. So if you eat the same brand or drink the same beer or whatever over and over again, you are building up on those same toxins per se, okay? So like if you go from Bud Light to Coors Light to Miller to Kraft to, you make like a cycle or whatever, or you're always trying something new or whatever, you're never really building up the same type of toxins per se, right? Because Bud Light doesn't use the same ingredients as Coors, all right? So this is where either way, folks, the freedom in America, all right, it's coming to an end. And the freedom is rising with the morons, all right? So as the idiocracy and Christmas spirit, Ron DeSantis is all coming out for 2025 and all these things to divide America. Trump's there to divide America. The stars that are coming out here are there to divide America so we can get maybe the blue, red, and purple party, or maybe a white party too. We'll see. But all these things are there, and as Jesus is coming back, he's judging the world in righteousness. So as he's judging the world in righteousness, these people are being tested on what's right and wrong. When they're right and wrong, their right has become bad, and they don't understand it. So since it's become bad, you're following into bad footsteps, and bad areas take you to bad places, right? Or y'all get it. Either way, so the freedom of America, if you look around, all right, people should be able to do what they want to do. If you don't like them doing stuff in schools or whatever, you have the freedom to take your child out of school. All right, that's an institution put out by the government. If you don't like what the government's doing, first off, don't vote for the government, because you're giving them power at that point. You don't know if they're honest with you or not. And then the government is there it means to control the mind. So do you need your mind controlled? Are you a beast where you can't think for yourself? Or are you a man to where you can think for yourself? But they look a lot alike. They're living out there together, all right? We got the two kingdoms living right now together. You got the non-vaxxed and the vaxxed. All right, that's the two kingdoms right there, just in a basic setup, okay? Or you have your one other kingdom would be your ivermectin kingdom. All right, they said no to the shots. They're the day wormers. Or you got your the pill poppers. But these are all your little different kingdoms setting up for the division and all this other stuff. Okay, so as these things come out, the freedoms, they go away. All right, so your liberties, they go away. And we see this now. They're wanting to do this, that, or the other. because they don't like this, that, or the other. It's the hardness out of their own hearts. They hate themselves. They hate society. They hate their country. They hate the leaders that they voted for. All this stuff, okay? They hate that they're stupid, that they can't figure out what's going on in this nation. They hate all kinds of stuff. And that's why they're just living based on fear, and they're going and acting like an animal based on fear, and they're just doing what the mind control tells them to do, because they have no mind control of their own. All right? They don't control their own mind. The government controls it. So Jesus coming back for a second time, because the people, they didn't learn the lesson the first time. He didn't change the government structure that time. He's changing it this time. All right? So this is when you're going to get a whole new whatever's coming. Everything we thought of in the past is going to go away. Everything we've ever thought of as good is going to go away. Everything we've ever thought is bad is going to become good. Okay? So we can see this thing playing out in the kingdom of heaven when it tells us how things are, like how the angels, or how we're not given over to marriage like the angels and things. We can see that breaking open in our society now, where marriage is kind of becoming obsolete, especially marriages that last and such. So as the old structure is breaking down, the new structure is coming to where we're not going to be doing the same things that we did in the past, y'all. All right, it's a whole new world breaking open. So we need to understand these things. And if you don't understand these things, you are going to go into the tribulation, the trials, the critical race, and all those things. All right, so it's breaking open. It's all right now. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 2024 through 2027. That's that 3.5 year period where people are like, oh shit, this is it. This is the time that we are fucked, right? So that's that time frame. And then the 3.5 years after that, that's the playoff of that. And this ties into the when the witnesses come, 2024 to 2027 and such. That ties to the witnesses coming and stopping the rain and all those little different things, folks. But either way, man, America's freedom. If you watch what's going on in our nation right now, what the Republicans are doing, what the Red Party's doing, what the Democrats are doing, what the corporations are doing, it's very scary. And they hate freedom, and they love their laws. They love their Baal worship. They love the hardness in their own hearts, and they are going to be fulfilling the laws, and they are going to be coming after, using the power of the dragon. And this is pretty much everybody's last year of warning. Okay, I've been warning y'all since 2020. Other people have been warning. So puzzle pieces are all put together, folks. All right, America's last days are right in front of y'all, and it's very sad that there are so many deaf and blind people in this so-called Christian nation. All right, it's really mind-boggling, and it's frightening in a kind of a weird way. All right, it's not like a real fear. It's just like it makes you wonder about man. All right, it makes you wonder about the state of man, and just how we're all the same, but yet we're all so different.